Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you can do better than that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First and foremost, thank you very much for coming out for the kickoff to the internship presentations. A couple of housekeeping notes. Number one, no smoking. Number two, please take a moment right now to silence your cell phones. My students know that a cell phone going off in the middle of a presentation is cause for a 0. I don't want Professor Krause doing that to any of you. Well, most of you. As I mentioned, this is the kickoff in a series of internship presentations. Today you will hear 4 presentations. All 4 of these individuals did their internship with the Washington Wild Things. I'm not sure legally that was a good idea, but we'll let the courts work that out. In no particular order of importance, though in order that they are presenting, our presenters are Brett Gambetta, Benicio DeFalco, Luke Andrusik, and Dean Shazer. Please put your hands together for our first presenter.
In life, the best way to learn how to do something is going out and doing it. And I think I speak for everyone in this room, especially at Waynesburg University, being in the comm department. If you don't know how to do something, you go out and do it. You don't know how to work the replay system, work replay, the next Lucid production, and you pick on it easily. And my internship was the same case as that, but along with also stepping outside of my comfort zone. So, a little bit of background. I'm from Castle Shannon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a senior sports broadcasting major. As you can see, I played football throughout my high school career. Brett mentioned it, and you may be wondering, why am I telling you all of this? It's because, as I mentioned, sometimes you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone, especially for internships. And my internship, as you don't know from now, was with the Washington Wild Things. And my little hiccup and experience I had to jump over was the sport of baseball. I quit playing baseball at 7 years old, so I had to pretty much pick up on the game while I was here at Waynesburg, because I came here at Waynesburg thinking that I knew a lot about sports. Little did I know, I just knew a lot about the sport of football. So, the Washington Wild Things, they're a frontier baseball team at Washington, Pennsylvania. They play games at EQT Park, which is just about 40 minutes away from Waynesburg, and it was also 40 minutes away from my house, so it wasn't the worst commute in the world. So a little bit of an overview. I'm going to start things off with my role, which was the video production intern, kind of getting into what that is. I'm going to get into my roles and responsibilities, touch on celebrity softball, go on with my skills learned, key moments, experience overall, and then open it up to any questions. So for starters, my internship was with the Washington Wild Things, and it was the video production intern. By definition, on the website, the video production intern will assist at-home baseball games and events at the park by capturing video footage and work in the creation of new and current video segments, as well as the team's multi-camera video production of games for Frontier League TV. Little did I know that this was the role that was on the website, but it was going to be much more than this. So for starters, I would make the 40-minute commute to EQT Park, and then I'd immediately report to Kyle Dawson, the head of operations, and he'd go over the crew list, what everyone was going to do that day, and then I'd report to Reese Clausen, kind of going over what type of camera shots he's going to want throughout the broadcast. For starters, we had the standstill camera. This is where I started off. It's similar to Waynesburg. It's kind of the same thing, zoom and focus. It's just each camera has a different role. For starters, the home plate camera, your play-by-play footage only, capturing some fan footage, but it's kind of hard where you're at position-wise. First base, you're going to be getting knocker balls, fan interactions, along with any controversial calls at first base. Let's say he's called out on the play, you saw his foot tag, you got the footage for the replay system. Along with third base, Copy Wild Thing, Brett talked about it a little bit. That's the main thing you're capturing along third. Sometimes you're getting the runner scoring home, but other than that, there's not that much importance of third base. It's kind of just more home plate and first. And then you have the mobile camera, kind of similar to what we do at Waynesburg. You're just roaming around, getting different shots. But roaming camera is kind of more focused on the fans. I know it's all about the fans, but mobile, you're getting the different incorporations outside of the field. You're stepping off the field, getting the fans, interacting with the different workers. It's really for the business side of baseball. And then there's point streak. As mentioned, that was Josh Klingen's job. You're doing live stats. You couldn't miss a pitch or everything would be messed up. So you had to pay attention the whole time. You couldn't miss a single stat. And then lastly was the replay system. Same thing you're doing here, capturing that little clip and getting the different angles. This is some examples of the work. I was home plate camera for this, so I got the play-by-play footage from the ball and getting the player get it. And then this is the third base camera, the player scoring. And then lastly, we have the first base camera getting the batter. So all cameras were shown here, and that's kind of a basic rundown of what the operation would look like. This is knocker balls. This is mostly for the fan interactions, and this is what you're getting along first base. Now getting into the celebrity softball game. This was Cam Hayward's event, so a lot of the Steelers were there. I worked roaming camera for this, so kind of similar to the roaming camera job that was assigned. You'd be getting shots of the in-game footage. This time it was more focused on the celebrities themselves. As mentioned, it was more of the business aspects, getting those celebrities footage and getting those clips out for social media. We had on-field access. We were allowed in both dugouts, so that was very cool, kind of seeing the celebrities up close and personal, and a lot of them were kind of wondering what you were doing. It wasn't too much of you going up to them and interacting. A lot of them were curious of what you were doing, and especially a lot of them noticed how young a bunch of us were, so it was easy to relate with some of them. We captured all aspects of the game, from them signing autographs to the footage itself on the game, and there was no real restrictions. Going on to the skills learned, camera operating and framing techniques, just kind of building on to what I've already learned at Waynesburg and just developing more and better content. I feel like I've improved my camera work with the Washington Wild Things and made me more comfortable coming in to Waynesburg. This was what I was the most proud of, being that I wasn't that familiar with baseball coming into it, was working live stats in the scoreboard software. Being a guy that wasn't too familiar with baseball just 4 years ago to now doing live stats where I need to know every aspect of the game, this was a very big accomplishment for myself. Working under pressure during live games, same thing you're doing with Woosen, just working under the high environment. Moments, the team communication and coordinating, you're talking with every single member of the crew, along with Kyle Dawson, Reese Clausen, just talking about what you did well, what you need to do better, and your different aspects of the broadcast, and just kind of learning overall as you go. Another thing, time management and multitasking. There's going to be the long days, long nights. You still got to get the product out. Even after you recorded 8 hours of baseball footage, you're going to have to clip those up for social media. Some of the key moments, the Andrew Check walk-off grand slam. It was after an 8-hour day. We were in and out of the stadium. Mario Day, it was another focus. We saw the different costumes of the fans. Sometimes the fans would make the days, to be honest with you. Sometimes the baseball wouldn't be a good product, and you can kind of lean on those fans for the funny moments. The long days, I actually would say, were a highlight because I was able to build on my relationships with some of the Waynesburg interns. And then the kids' days. The kids' days were the most engaged. You know the fans were going to be. They were going crazy, and that's really where most of the content came from as the summer went on. As mentioned, this is Andrew Check's walk-off grand slam. This is actually Daniel Rogers' footage. But imagine after an 8-hour day, being in and out of the stadium, going back, kind of have to tear everything down, build it back up, and then there's a walk-off grand slam on top of that. This was the cherry on top of a bad day. Just imagine a rough day, and all you have is 2 of your other friends that you went to Waynesburg with, and you get to cherish this moment. It really brought up for one of my favorite moments of the summer, but also just bringing a bad situation and turning it good. My experience overall, some of the things I learned was keeping my composure. You heard from Brett, the replay system and score bug completely went down at the end of the season, so the positions were limited, working mobile camera a lot. As Brett mentioned as well, a low number of interns, so almost 6 days in a row sometimes we were working camera. Yes, that gets frustrating, but is the job we signed up for at the end of the day. Relationships, I can say this with each and every one of you that entered with the Wild Things, I grew closer with you guys. And yes, we talk a lot here at Waynesburg, but I was able to learn more about your guys' lives than I anticipated for. I thought this would almost be completely Wild Things, and I was able to grow a lot closer with each and every one of you in this room. The long days and nights, they're going to prepare you for the field. I've worked multiple broadcasts with the Steelers, and I've worked one with West Virginia. It's the same thing. You're going to have the 12 hours days, and it's going to be worth it in the long run. Any questions? Steve?
Did the camera work ever get repetitive? And if so, what did you do to kind of keep it engaging for yourself?
So it did get repetitive, especially being there 6 days in a row. But what helped was everyone had their headset on. So we were kind of able to make fun of it, talk with one another. And it was really just everyone that was part of the internship, kind of building everyone up, because we were all there for the same reason. It's kind of just leaning on everyone else. Right.
How did you manage working at Giant Eagle and interning with the Wild Things at the same time?
So I communicated with my manager, and we were able to get, there's only 2 hiccups throughout the summer in terms of like overlapping, but we were able to figure out a good system. Yes, I worked pretty much 2 jobs, but at no point was I burnt out. I was able to still spend a lot of time with my friends and family, and I still made a summer of it. Logan.
Benny, I also worked the Steelers day that you mentioned. Being a fan of a team that you grew up watching, how did you balance the challenge of trying not to like fanboy and also at the same time covering a team that you grew up watching on Sundays?
So I went in with the kind of the mindset that I am there to work, and so for starters, watching everyone get in, it kind of just set the tone. As hard as it was to not interact with them, I had a camera in front of me. If I got a footage and I'm screaming out Jack Sawyer's name, and that gets clipped on social media, it's going to come back on me. So there was a little bit of that, of understanding, hey, I'm here to work. But after everything kind of ended, I mentioned a little bit there, a lot of them were willing to talk. So once everything ended, they kind of realized that we had a long day too. So they spoke to a lot of us afterwards. So that's where most of the time was spent with them. But when they were in there, it was just all work. I remember Dean, Luke, and I were sitting all together getting the different shots, and we're kind of just talking amongst each other like, wow, I can't believe we're doing this. Like, I know at some point we were going to do this, and I knew that all the celebrities were going to be here, but I can't believe like we're in the presence of everyone and we're working. It's not like we're here watching. All right. Next up, we have a 3-time letterman at Bishop Canevin High School and a Whitfield champion, Luke Andrusik.